Welcome to 13 Degrees of Screams,
where we scream so you don't scream.
We're your host, Alex.
And Stephanie.
And this week, we find out we're an emotional support robot and companion.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe and click the bell to be notified when we post new episodes.
Let's dive in and see just how scary Companion is on a scale of 1 to 13.
Companion is a 2025 sci-fi thriller starring Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid as a couple enjoying a weekend retreat with friends at a secluded cabin. What begins as a relaxing escape quickly spirals into turmoil when it's revealed that one of the guests is actually a robotic companion. Rotten Tomatoes has a 93% critic consensus, a fiendishly clever contraption that doesn't rest on the laurels of its twist. Companion thrillingly puts the demented into domestic bliss. It also has an 89% audience score that states Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher serve a delightfully twisted feast with gusto and Companion, delivering stylish gore that satisfies the senses. For our ratings, we will discuss 4 aspects of the movie and score it from 0 to 3 for each. These individual ratings will be added to make our overall scary rating. To kick us off, Alex, what do you have for plot?
I gave plot a 3. Going into the plot, I looked at it through Iris's eyes, no pun intended. To find out you aren't human is about as shocking as finding out you live in a simulation or any other trope that involves learning that your whole life is a lie. Everything you know isn't real, including your humanity, is a very scary concept. Then on top of that, you were just a pawn in a murder plot and then become hunted just adds to the horror. And of course, the movie raises the all too relevant question, what makes someone real and how does AI fall into that? The plot is scary more from a concept perspective than anything you're going to see on the screen.
Oh, okay.
What about you?
I gave plot a 2. While I didn't think the movie was really ever scary, I did enjoy the concept and performances, but I knocked it down a point because I only saw one commercial for this movie and it completely gave the twist away. So the whole time I knew Iris was a robot, and I didn't get to feel that shock when she found out she wasn't human. However, what really works for the movie are silly comedic moments coupled with the companion's capability to change their level of aggression and intelligence. Overall, a really fun movie that I would definitely watch again.
Mm-hmm. That sucks that you were kind of spoiled by the
one advertisement?
Right.
Yeah.
And I knew going in that I didn't necessarily know she was a robot, but I knew something was going on.
That she was other.
Mm-hmm. But also, you kind of catch it if you pay attention to what they're saying. Like, she's able to tell you the weather.
What's the weather?
It's currently 72 degrees with an 83% chance of rain in the evening.
Oh, yeah. And I think it would have just been more fun if I wouldn't have known altogether, too. Because, yeah, the weather thing is really weird. But that doesn't happen for a little while.
That's true.
But then you have like these like Iris wake up, Iris go to sleep kind of commands that sound like an Alexa kind of command almost in a way. But could be just, your partner coming to be like, hey, we're here. Time to wake up kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just unfortunate that ruined it for you. Do you think you'd rate it a little higher if you didn't know that? Or do you think that wouldn't affect
if I would have gone in completely blind, I think I would have felt more or less connected to Iris as like a person. But going in, I was like, yeah, she's a robot. No wonder they don't like her or stuff like that.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, the plot, like I mentioned, is none of the visuals are going to freak you out or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking at it from Iris's perspective, like, it's absolutely terrifying to me.
Oh, yeah, because she has memories. They gave her programming of memories, so she thinks that they had this cute, like, little meet cute at a grocery store where he knocked over some oranges. Apparently, that's just a simulation he chose, so he wasn't there, but he has to, like, pretend that that's a memory they share.
That's so sad to me. I felt so bad for her.
Oh, yeah.
I have memories, college, summer jobs. I've been to Japan twice.
Okay, so what those are, they're like outlines of memories. Just enough to give you a little backstory.
It just, that whole question of, yeah, she's not a human, but she might as well be.
Yeah. Yeah, because she does feel things, obviously. She feels very betrayed from all of this happening because, in a way, like, she's made to be this person's whole world, and she was, even though he wasn't that great to her.
No, I mean, they all treat her like an object, even though we find out in the movie that, she's really just a pawn in this to kill Sergei, this really rich guy. So he and his friend Kat could steal all the money. So it seems initially that he's treating her like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But she's not.
You don't know how long they've been together, though, too.
But on the flip side, our other two characters in the movie, Patrick and then his boyfriend. Patrick's the robot.
Yes,
but they've been actually like dating.
Right.
Eli, I think his name
Eli.
is. They've actually been dating and they actually love each other. Or Eli says he loves a robot. So on the flip side, that's actually happening in this world.
Right. Because at one point, it's Josh and Eli. When Eli finds out about the whole murder plot, they have to bring him in on it. And Eli wants a cut of the money for Patrick. And he's like, no, it's just you. Patrick's a thing. And he's like, no, he's not. And then they have like a little fight over it. And he's like, whatever, we love Patrick. You could have turned him in several times. So he has like this old model basically of a robot because he's so attached to it and they're in love.
Yeah. And then it asks the question, is that really love if it's not a human? Like, it just, all those questions that I don't know how to answer because it's, Iris is our main character. So to say like, yeah, she's just an object, like that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I also get hung up on, though, what Patrick says, the way Eli's love feels like to him. He says something about it being like bright and painful and angry, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing though. Like,
I could see like the painful part kind of, but not the anger part.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because it kind of makes me wonder, like, yeah, I could see like all of those emotions could be related to passion, like, and like wanting to put that person before yourself and all that stuff, like whatever happens to them. But I could also see it as like, maybe he's feeling angry and all these other emotions because he is compelled to love him.
Yeah, because it's not really real. Like,
it's just not his choice.
Iris is programmed to love Josh. She never actually met him in a way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, their love is fake, but her humanity is real.
Yeah. But isn't it also part of programming, though? Because they chose these meet-cute situations because that's what forms a love connection for them. So basically they wake up and they already believe that they are dating this person.
Yeah, moral conundrum, because Josh reprograms Patrick after Eli is killed. And then Patrick now loves Josh.
Yeah.
Like that. And then Josh is put into the original memory that Eli was in.
Yes.
So now,
so like their meet-cute becomes him and Josh's meet-cute.
So for these companions, it's not real.
Ugh.
Right? It sucks. It sucks because like I'm rooting for these.
Yeah, but then Patrick is forced to remember when Iris reminds him and like is like, oh, this is the person that you love. He's dead and it's Josh's fault. Then he comes back to him. But yeah, there's like a lot of like moral gray area too of like whether or not this is all real love and capability of them being able to choose for themselves that they love someone.
Yeah. And then the implications of basically owning somebody.
I just don't know why you'd make something like that up.
Same reason these assholes use their companions for target practice or chain them up in their basements and torture them.
It's not always about companionship.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how messed up is that? Like, that's terrifying.
That's also fucked.
Yeah. So fucked.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 fucks. It's awful.
Right. 10 out of 10.
So you mentioned there are comedic aspects of this movie, but there's a lot of like really underlining scary things that are discussed.
Yeah, if you really think about it. Also, I point out later too that this movie would couple well with something like Swallow because it's all about like that autonomy in a relationship. It's just kind of served up to you in a different way.
Absolutely. Because Josh could do whatever he wants. He has a whole app that you could adjust her strength, her intelligence, change her eye color, anything you want. You find at one point she finds out her intelligence was put to 40%. She's like,
40%.
she's like, really, Josh? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you asshole.
Right.
And then 100% is what he, like a Harvard grad, he said. So
Yeah,
you could have,
I did like that it wasn't completely astronomical, like she was a genius beyond the normal proportion.
right. So you could have given her 100%, but no, you're like 40.
Right. No. Honestly, with the kind of person Josh is, not saying that he should have not made her as smart as 40%, but I feel like 40% for him is generous.
He was still smarter than him, let's be honest.
Yes, honestly.
Fucking Josh.
What did you have for suspense?
Okay, so I wanna preface this by saying I saw your notes right before we started recording. Didn't change anything, but
Okay.
very interesting because I gave suspense a 3.
Really?
I
Okay.
did, and this is my reasoning. I said, I found this movie incredibly suspenseful in both subtle and more obvious ways. From the beginning when Iris isn't comfortable with Josh's friends, to Sergei's advancements, from Iris finding out she isn't real, to being hunted in the woods, Iris is always in some sort of danger, and I couldn't help but having a ton of sympathy for her. I was really rooting for her the whole time, which makes everything even more suspenseful.
Okay.
What about you?
I gave it a 0, and I think it's just because everything we know about robots in other movies. They are typically a formidable opponent in these situations, and even if they are dispatched, it's only temporary and they keep coming back. So to say the least, I never thought Iris was in any real danger. Plus, in her beginning monologue, she specifically states that she killed her boyfriend, Josh, past tense, meaning that she made it out, she won, or what have you. So, although I do reconsider with what you said, because you're treating Iris as a normal girl, I can't get past the fact that she's a robot. And not saying that I don't sympathize with her wanting to have autonomy and everything. I think obviously if you go this far and you make someone have feelings and stuff like that, you might as well let them be a person. But just based on equipment, basically alone, like if this is all just supposed to be treated as an analogy for her being a normal girl in a terrible, toxic situation, then sure. What happens is suspenseful, but she's a robot. So like she's figured out a way to outmind them in every situation.
Yeah. And I think to your point, you could see it anyway. Like I could definitely see you giving a 0. I just didn't know necessarily what her capabilities were because also Josh could control her every move. Turn her off.
Whenever the phone was out of her hands, that was the issue.
It. Right.
Yeah.
So in that sense, she's literally helpless. So until she was able to find a way to gain her free will, essentially, she was really in danger the whole time. I mean, she was even nervous walking up there, you know.
Because she sensed that they didn't like her. Yeah.
Right. Which we find out why, obviously. But initially, you're like, damn, these people are rude.
It just really has some sort of stigma, too, because they do like Patrick and they know what Patrick is. So it's not like everyone's surprised that Iris and Patrick are companions. They know. It's just they themselves don't know.
Right.
Or supposedly.
I
Patrick
wonder.
knows a little bit more.
Right. Because Patrick mentions he figured it out a while ago.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they treat Iris differently because she's only there to be part of this weird murder thing. And Patrick is legitimately Eli's partner.
Maybe.
So they're like, well, why would we care about Iris? She's just part of this plot to kill Sergei.
Well, do you think that they rented her out just for this?
I think so. That's what I thought.
Really?
That's how I took it. Yeah, because he's like, you're just a rental. I was going to give you back.
Damn. Okay. That's an interesting point because I thought, obviously Eli and Patrick have been together for many years because of the fact that Patrick's an older model and all that stuff. But I got the feeling that Josh and Iris had at least been together for a few months when they had already met her once before. So I don't know. I just thought maybe that meant they're not like necessarily a new couple, but not necessarily the oldest of couples.
Yeah, they don't really say, but once he said she was a rental, I'm like, okay, well, he only got her for this
purpose. Yeah, maybe. There's a possibility.
So that was just how I saw it.
Also, I thought there might have been like a stigma too, because based on like the characters that have the companions, Eli and Patrick are clearly like partners in love, care for each other, and Josh's friends know that Josh is this asshole and is using Iris as a sex bot. Essentially, that's what they keep calling her.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So
he's
it's
probably
like a little bit demeaning in that way of just because she's a lady robot and that stuff too.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm thinking, do you think Josh had any sort of feelings for Iris at all, or it was all an act?
He wanted to say goodbye to her, so maybe
he was starting to catch feelings
I
towards
don't
the end
know.
there.
But then he was also just so mean to her. When they walk up to the house and she's nervous about meeting the friends again, he says, like, just act happy and, like, don't be all depressing and mopey. And I don't know. It's just, even if he did like her, it's not very nice.
Right. But then, again, goes back to, she's a robot. Can you really, like, does it matter if you're rude to a robot or not? Do they really feel feelings?
Right. Which honestly but that brings me back to the whole Eli and Patrick thing, because like even though they seem to more or less mutually care for each other, we still see Eli like shush Patrick several times, like he is less than. Like he's the submissive one in the relationship. But as it goes on further and you figure out that Patrick's also a companion, you're like, oh, they're one and one the same with how they treat this person.
It's almost like even if you do truly love your companion, there's always, not always,
the acknowledgement that they are not human.
It's like you can never fully get there, kind of a thing. Which is really sad. It's sad. I felt so bad. No joke, I was getting really choked up. I was
really
for Iris. I felt so awful. This is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad that like she really loved him, and then it was all just just made up, and like he could order the next model, and it like the same thing could happen, like, and they would believe that was their meet cute and all that stuff too. It just is an endless cycle.
Yeah, I actually do kind of hope we get a sequel, because at the end everyone dies and she gets away and she's driving, and I hope we get some sort of...
Yeah, she waves at a companion that she passes on the road, and she has like a little robot hand. So then the companion's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
because
she doesn't
they
know.
might not know that they're a robot, but they look a lot like her. So
yeah,
there's that.
Yeah, I just, this whole movie stressed me out just because of how they treated her, even from the beginning, let alone everything that happens towards the middle and the end. I was just like, this sucks.
Right. I mean, the more you look at it as if they are all real people, like no matter robot or not, then yeah, it just amplifies how bad the situation is. So what did you have for atmosphere?
I give this a big fat 0. I said, nice huge house in a secluded woods, count me in. The setting and atmosphere doesn't really affect this movie so much, which was fine. It's just didn't do nothing for me.
Same here. I also had 0. I said it's a secluded luxury cabin that doesn't really add to the thriller element, just makes it easier for Iris to hide. And you can even choose to enjoy yourself if you don't want to pursue your friend's robot significant other through the woods. Seriously, though, hit me up if you ever want to sell this property for very little money.
Right? It's lovely. That sounds perfect. That's where I want to live.
I got $5.
I give it $3.50.
We could combine our money. We got $8.50.
There we go.
Then we share the vacation home.
Right. We could be Sergei's, what are they called? Sugar
mistresses.
Yeah, mistresses. There we go.
Yeah.
I'll share. It's fine. I'll wear a little maid outfit. I don't care. Whatever you want.
Right.
Will you marry me?
Ew, Daddy.
What?
What is this?
It's my grandmother's ring.
Was your grandmother poor?
What did you have for the villain?
I gave villain a 0. I picked Josh. That's who's my target for villain. I said I would go with Josh ultimately. I'm not afraid of this man, and if you strip away his ability to control Iris, he's just a sad, pathetic man. He constantly screws up his own plans and can only accomplish anything because he has someone else to do it. Truly a sad villain, and thank the Lord Iris is able to gain full free will to defeat him. Because I hate him so much. I didn't want to give him any sort of credit. So nothing. 0.
Yes. And just to make this clear too, I love him in The Boys, the actor that plays Josh. And so then at first I was like, oh, this is going to be tough. And then I'm like, nope, not that tough.
No.
more we go, I'm like, oh, he sucks.
So I'm assuming you gave it a low score as well.
Yeah, I gave him a 1.
Oh, what?
I said Josh is the... Yeah, I know. I'm upset about it too. I said Josh is the problem as he is every delusional white man that thinks he can get something for nothing. A girlfriend without emotional labor, money, power, respect, etc. by what he owns, and even murder without having to get his hands dirty. While he is not particularly intimidating or necessarily hard to outsmart, as he would rather use a robot or device than do something himself, I gave him 1 point because he is still a man that intends harm. When considering the analogy for mistreatment and obsession in couples, this is a toxic situation and would be very challenging, intimidating to leave if you're just a normal person, because there's always that chance for harm or some form of retaliation.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Because I could also see someone giving this man a 3.
Yeah.
And the same token, I just hate him so much I don't want to give him any credit. So that's where my 0's coming from. And from like a man-to-man perspective, fuck this guy. But as a woman, I could definitely see where you're coming from.
At first, too, like he was very hands-off because he eventually sends Patrick out to get her after he overrides his love for Eli and makes him fall in love with him. But Patrick's a formidable force because he ramps up his aggression. So, like, when he goes after him and she's talking to a police officer because she's stolen Josh's car, he, like, completely smashes the police officer's face in because he's like, I have to get Iris. That's what I was told to do. So, obviously, that as a weapon is terrible. But also, when he finally gets to his last straw with Iris, she's come back again after he thought she was dead. He's dragging her around by the hair and stuff like that, like just woman abuse, basically. So
yeah, it's truly hard to watch, and realistically, he probably should at least get a point. I just can't bring myself to do it because he's just no, I can't. He's so annoying, and
yeah,
and then man, he was so dumb. Like, not that anyone really reads terms of anything, but at the end, he shoots Iris in the head thinking that's like where everything's stored, or that's how, she is alive essentially, but everything's stored like in her stomach. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll just check the footage. He's like, what? I'm like, sir, you couldn't even make sure that you were actually disposing of the evidence. Furthermore, it's probably uploaded to the cloud anyways, even if you did destroy her. What were you thinking? Nick watched this with me. He actually really wanted to watch this movie. We were like, yeah, obviously they're recording everything.
Yeah.
Did you not think of that?
Oh, that's so funny. To me, the biggest issue for me with the whole plan, honestly, was you have enough money to have a car that drives itself. You have enough money to rent a robot. Do you really need an extra $6 million or, $3 million, depending on who's alive for this? I don't know. He says that he lives in a shitty 1-bedroom apartment, but I'm like, but these other items that you have can't be cost effective either. So
that's why
they never say what he does. So I don't know. What span are we thinking of, like, where he would justify needing this money? Is he a trust fund kid? I don't know. So sometimes, like, thinking about the money aspect of it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Considering the devices that he has.
Maybe mommy and daddy bought him those things, to your point. I don't know. But look, $6 million. So he's probably like, why not? Unless Kat, because realistically, Kat's kind of in it first. Like, she's with Sergey. So maybe she convinced him.
She kind of like brought the idea to him.
Yeah, so she's like, I'll split it with you if you just help me out. And he's like, oh, why not?
Yeah, I guess so.
But that's a lot to go through if you don't need it.
Yeah. But then the way Iris was talking to him towards the end, too, like, you think like an extra $6 million will give you respect, will make you more powerful and stuff like that when you're just nothing. And so I'm like, can we at least get some numbers? Can we like get a salary or something for the year? I'm very curious on how well off this man is, considering. I know it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it just makes me wonder with the technology.
Right. Why, Josh? Why do you need this? I feel like you don't, but who knows? Yeah. Well, bitch. Anyways, Josh sucks. In summation.
Yeah. Either way, renting a robot can't be cheap. So I'm sure if he just, if he actually sent Iris back, he could probably afford it after he saved up a couple of payments.
Right.
What about the extra special point?
I did give it the point. I said I really enjoyed this movie. It wasn't what I expected. Not that I really had a great idea of what to expect to begin with. I guess I expected more of a conventional horror vibe, but I would say this is actually more of a thriller than a horror. What about you?
I gave it the extra special point too. I said it's not scary, but definitely worth your time, even if you know what the twist is. I think it's just fun to consider on whether or not it's just like an analogy or if you should really take it at face value of like, this is what could happen once, AI develops into like full force people.
Yeah, we better start thinking about it.
Right. Like, what happens if you get approached by a robot in the supermarket?
Right. I mean, some people are having little companion chat apps. So,
yeah.
I mean, just put that in a robot body and we're already halfway there.
Right.
Buckle up. Totaling our scores, I gave it a 7 and you gave it a 4.
I'm just surprised by the 7, man. I did not see you doing that high with this.
It's the suspense is what got me because I was stressed and the emotional toll it took on me.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah, it's really not scary from a visual standpoint, like I said, but just the feels, man. And
yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That one tear when she cries and he tells her it's just water from a reservoir. I was like, what the fuck, man? Just let her have it. Like,
fuck you,
let
Josh.
her cry.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. And of course, you could let us know what you'd like us to watch next in the comments.
You can find us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next week.
Bye.